Alright, David Harry here. Now just before I play you this video of when I was followed and questioned by two Merseyside police officers a couple of months ago, I would just like to make a couple of things clear. Now, in no uncertain terms, at the end of this questioning, I felt like I'd been questioned as if I was a paedophile, seriously, or at the very least some dirty old man taking pictures and videos of young children. That is exactly how I got made to feel after the end of the questioning by these two Merseyside police officers. Also as well, during the questioning, one of the officers was clearly lying as well. I'll address this at the end of the video. Now also as well, when you watch this, you have to also remember, out of common decency, I've blurred out the faces of the two officers. But just bear this in mind, the main officer doing all the questioning did not wear a mask whatsoever during any part of this conversation. Now, at the time that this took place, we were under strict lockdown rules, and the very same police who were supposed to enforce these rules were breaking it. Now, at the very least here as well, even if you don't find that the questioning was anything wrong, there's always that thing about the lack of wearing, or the lack of mask being used. Now, lastly, before I play this, I've already played this video to Merseyside Police and gave them every opportunity to address it. However, and very unfortunately, Merseyside Police come back to me and said they found absolutely nothing wrong with whatever these police officers did during the course of this questioning. Now, maybe Merseyside Police feel that this questioning was totally okay, but in saying that they had no problems whatsoever with anything in this video, then they're definitely saying that they had no problems with that main officer not wearing a mask during lockdown. And bear in mind, I made that as part of my complaint that the officer did not wear a mask. Anyways, here's the video and I will come back at the end and just kind of run over a few points. Definitely give me a really good idea as to what the differences are. Yeah? What?
It's just a bit curious what you're up to, mate.
Filming.
Anything particular, like, or?
No, we'll actually test the microphones.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. The thing on the top.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's it, just because it seems that when we did walk past him, he was curious. When we came back, it seemed to like just take a quick dart from us. We thought there was something a bit untoward, so we were just wondering what he was up to, really. Because he just,
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Say again.
Just as soon as we came back into our minds, because we wanted to see what he was up to, he seems to make quite a quick escape from us, if you get what I mean.
Escape from you?
Well, no, you moved away, you know what I mean?
Quite a pace, you see, but seems to...
So you're getting at something here?
No, we're just asking what you're up to, you know what I mean?
No, just tell you, explain why you got our attention, really.
No, why did I get your attention in the first place, though?
We just for Mick, we don't see
with a camera and a mic.
Well, I'm in here like near enough every day. I don't see yous either. I only live across the road there. I run a YouTube channel and I must have done about 200 videos in this park testing microphones and cameras. Okay. I've never seen you guys either.
That's it, obviously, but as part of our job, it's for us to patrol and anything we see out of sorts. Or
why am I out of sorts exactly?
You don't see many people out and about with video recording camera.
I've seen a number of people in here with cameras and phones doing taking snaps and pictures and stuff, and actually as I walked through there was a family who had a phone out and that's exactly what they were doing.
I understand that, but it's quite high end, isn't it, what you've got?
What does that mean? Anything?
It attracts attention, doesn't it? Just for ourselves.
It's attracted your attention, but nobody else's, yeah?
And, well, that's up for opinion, but...
Well, it's not up for opinion, that's a fact. Nobody else has pulled me up asking me what I'm doing with my camera.
Obviously, but with us being Merseyside Police, it's up to us to patrol and anything on sort.
Are you regular officers, are yous?
No, we're police community support officers.
Okay, right, yeah.
Obviously we're on foot, anything out of sort, or if anything what doesn't sit right for us, so
what's not sitting right exactly? This is what I need to get to.
Just we turn turned back to investigate. We was going to ask.
Turn back from, I don't know what you tried.
From our route, from our path where we was going.
So you were looking at me before, is what you're saying?
No.
So what you
walked past, I noticed that.
Yeah, and you saying I made a quick dart
into us,
from where?
From where the playground was to here. It was quite a quick walk.
I doubt that very much, because if you were watching me when I was at the gate, you'd have seen me massaging me back. I have a bad back. There's no way I darted, or whatever it is that you're saying, into the park.
It was a good walk, obviously, because we walked it as well, sir, but we were just checking it out, and that's fine. So now we're just introducing ourselves and asking, and know what you're up to, really. Just checking out.
Once again, I don't understand why the attention is on me and nobody else in the park. Have you been pulling other people in the park? Because I've not noticed that either.
Obviously, but it's just with your booth and I just attracted our attention. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Once again, I live just opposite the park there. I've done about 200 videos in this park doing the exact same things, which is testing microphones and testing cameras. I've never seen used to here. So used to seem a bit suspicious to me.
Fair dues, but obviously when we're on foot we cover quite a large
I'd just be
area.
dead honest, I'm getting quite annoyed right now because I don't understand why I've been stopped and why I'm being questioned.
You're not being stopped, you're free to go. But obviously for us, we're just asking you what you're up to, we're just curious.
Curious why though? Just curious as people or curious as police?
Just this is our job to look around.
If we didn't look around, we wouldn't be doing our duty.
Yeah, but I've not noticed you pulling anybody else up in the park though. Just me. Why?
As I said, you took our attention, that's why we saw.
Why did I take your attention exactly? You still haven't got to the bottom of that. What exactly about me?
Because you're recording equipment to us. No, obviously we're just looking into it and seeing what you're up to and that.
Is there something wrong with the recording?
No, that's it. Obviously,
right, what it is, I'm actually in a public place. I've got every right to use a camera in a public place, okay? I do this stuff professionally, right? So I know exactly what I'm doing. Do you used to know what's going on?
Well, we do now because we just asked you what you've been up to.
Yeah.
So once you've explained to us now, that's
we're happy.
Are you aware of the rules and regulations for recording in public places?
We've inquired. We're happy with the explanation, so we'll go on our way now.
Okay, cool.
That's it. But
Sorry, thank you.
Literally, we was just asking for us to be satisfied, and that's it. Then
Satisfied with what exactly?
Well, that's it. We don't know what you could have been doing. Obviously,
you don't know what. Hold on, wait. You don't know what I could have been doing. What do you think?
Anyone else? Isn't
like, hold on, wait there. How about I'm just some regular dude taking a walk through the park, which is exactly what I'm doing.
Attained that now, so.
But prior to that point, I could have been doing what exactly?
Well, to be quite frank, sir, it's quite close to a playground. Obviously, there's young children. That's it, I'm not.
Oh, wait there. Hold on a minute.
But if we did,
I was standing by a playground and there was young children. What are you insinuating?
well,
He's not
obviously,
insinuating anything.
we've got to just.
So what? Hold on, wait there. So what's this? I was standing by a playground with young children there. What's that supposed
If
to
a
mean?
video records an item, obviously for us, we got to satisfy ourselves as police.
No, wait there. You
That's
just
nothing
said I was
untoward.
standing by a playground with young children in it. What does that mean?
Well, obviously,
I remind you right now, you're all being
I
recorded.
understand
We're
that,
aware of
sir.
that, sir.
We're aware of that. But obviously, we still in our policing interest to investigate and ask questions. Over.
No. I want to know what you're getting at there when you said I was standing by a playground with young children in it.
Well, obviously, in that sort of thing,
You do know what that insinuates, don't you?
I'm not insinuating, but obviously, I'm checking to see what he was doing. Obviously, I'm happy.
What I was doing, standing by a playground with young children in it.
That's it, but as a concern, as a policing purpose, we're making inquiries, that's it. And we're happy about that and that full.
Well, I'm not happy about what you have just said.
I understand
You just
that,
insinuated I'm a f***ing paedophile.
but I haven't insinuated that, but I'm giving
Your
you-
questioning there was along the lines of there being children in a playground and I was standing by them.
Obviously.
What else is that supposed to sound like?
Obviously, but as you've just told me for story why, then that backs up your story, and obviously I'm just
Backs
checking.
up my story.
Well, Obviously, anything could have been happening.
You really haven't thought this through, have you, before you come over and spoke to me?
We have said
You have?
public safety.
So, public safety, this is getting much worse now. What have I done which gives you concern for public safety with regard to me?
We're saying we've been attracted by video recording and stuff. Close to the playground, obviously, we have concern.
Close to a playground with young kids, and you're saying, yeah.
But obviously, we checked out your story and we're satisfied. And obviously, that's all we wanted to do.
Could I have your name, please?
Yes, you can have me collar numbers. Can I have your name, please?
My name's David Harry, Harry.
That's it.
So,
Correct, sir.
yeah.
That's all you need, sir.
My surname is Harry, Harry.
2 seconds.
Thank you.
I've got to tell the pair of you right now, I'm going to make a proper serious complaint about this, especially with that last line of questioning. I find it absolutely repulsive that you've said to me you were concerned because I was standing by a bunch of young kids and stuff. And if I'm right in thinking what you did, you walked past me when I was outside the park. I didn't stand by that. I didn't stand by that where those kids were. So you've never seen me doing that.
Obviously, but that's why we're making an inquiry. We ask you then questions.
No, you said I was standing by the park with young kids. I actually wasn't. I was on the outside. You walked past me. Hold on. Did neither of you notice what I was doing to me back?
No, I didn't, sir.
That's funny. You noticed the camera, but you didn't see me kneading me back with me knuckles because my back's knackered.
I apologise.
That's very convenient, isn't it? Well, where you see me was outside the park. It wasn't in the park, so I wasn't even standing by where the kids were anyway.
But it's directly opposite. Obviously, it's a policing purpose. We're making inquiries and that's all. So can I just have your name again, please?
David Harry, Harry.
And you've got your date of birth, please, sir?
Yeah.
And what's your address, please? Is that road or and postcode? That's fine, sir. Thank you. Obviously, I was just asking what it was you was doing, and that was all.
That's fine.
So, right, have a nice day anyway, sir.
Yeah, you too. Okay, this camera's been rolling from when I just done my last test there. I've just had, 11 minutes of being questioned by 2 police, and that question was very weird. I'm going to stop this now because I need to go home and sit down and have a think about what's just happened. I've literally just been accused of being a fucking paedophile, and before that, the questioning was just bizarre. I don't understand how everyone in the park, I got stopped. This is ridiculous. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just run over a few points. I'll try and do this as quick as I can, although I do need to make the points very clear. Now, the first point probably is the fact that I was made to feel like a dirty old man filming kids, or at worst, a paedophile. Now, some people might think to themselves, well, maybe that questioning didn't go along those lines. Well, see, to me, it did, and that officer absolutely crossed too many lines as far as I'm concerned, and I was made to feel I felt disgusting. I actually felt like I was disgusting at the end of all that, and it took me a few days to kind of wrap my head behind what had gone on. And also as well, if anybody who watches my videos watches this, you'll all know that's the park that I go to do all of my filming, for testing for cameras and microphones. For about a week, I didn't go back to the park because in the back of my head, I just had this thing in my head, like about me filming kids and stuff, which didn't happen, do you know what I mean? Now, here's the other thing, is all on that point of filming kids, it was a total lie. That officer was going on saying that I was standing, or that they had concerns because I was standing with the camera by a bunch of young children. That never happened. You could clearly see in that video, I was in the field on my own. Anytime you've seen anyone who was in the distance, where I went to was purposefully to be on my own. Once again, I can corroborate that with hundreds of videos, and anybody who watches my stuff knows I go to that park all the time to do my vloggy test things and all the rest of it. I do not even go near adults, let alone children. That's not what I do. For two reasons. One, just common decency. You don't want to be going around other people, let alone children. I'm talking about adults. You don't want to be going around them and bothering them when you've got a camera and stuff like that, because it does make people feel uncomfortable. I don't do that. The other thing as well, if I go into the park because I'm doing a test for a microphone, which is exactly what I was doing in that video, why would I want to be standing around anyone, least of all screaming kids and stuff like that? So yeah, that was an absolute lie. I did not stand anywhere near any kids with the camera. What had happened, and this gets to, like, you know, the bit about being targeted and followed as well. I walked over, because that's not far from where I live. I walked over to the park. As I was on the main road, what happened was I'd kind of jolted me back a bit. I have a bad back. So before I went into the park, I'm standing on the main road by the bus stop, and I'm kind of like kneading, you know, me back because I had a sore back. I'd basically kind of put a bit of a pace on going across the road. I didn't need to because there was no traffic around. I'm always very careful about crossing roads, but it kind of jolted me back a little bit. Anyway, these two officers walked past me, and the one who did the main questioning actually took a very long stare at me when they walked past me, and I knew immediately that something was going to get said. However, it didn't get said there, and this was outside the park, so I went into the park. They followed me then into the park. Now what happens is, again, people who, or anyone in Liverpool who might know that park anyway, or anybody who watches me stuff knows, I tend to walk in from one part of the park and then walk right the way through to the park to the top, usually because the top field is quite empty. So I go up there to do like a bunch of me stuff and what have you. Anyways, these two officers, but as far as I'm concerned, they targeted me beforehand, then followed me into the park, and then followed my route as I walked all the way up through the park. Now, the first officer, oh yeah, and by the way, during that time, I didn't stop by anybody, let alone children. So this whole thing about me being by kids didn't happen. That's not what happened, seriously. Now, by the time these officers come over to me, I'd been in the park for about maybe 8 to 10 minutes because it takes me a little while just to walk up to the top field. And they basically came over during the first take that I was doing with the testing of the microphone. And you can clearly know that happened because it's exactly what I was doing when I was interrupted by the two officers. Anyways, as soon as they come over, what they should have done was explained why they were questioning me, and that didn't happen, because some people might be sitting there going, but hold on, Dave, you know, you kind of pushed that officer a bit. And you know why? For two reasons. One, I wasn't happy about being pulled up because they had no reason whatsoever to pull me up. But the second reason why I felt that I had to push him a little bit was because neither of those officers told me why they were questioning me. Right, it's their duty to tell you when you're pulled that why they've stopped you and why they're questioning you. Do you know what I mean? Now, they never did that. And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, why has this happened? Which is why I kept on pushing it, because they were an officer is supposed to tell you this stuff. So I'm kind of getting a little bit irate. Do you know what? I've got to be dead honest here. It's took me some time to do this piece to camera because I get quite emotional when I keep remembering what went on. So yeah, if I'm starting to like get a bit raised here, just forgive me for this. It's really, putting it bluntly, it's pissing me off again. Anyways, these officers totally bang out of order. They've come over. They've not even let me know exactly why they've done this. And that's the reason why, you know, I might appear to have been a bit pushy. You have to remember, at the start there, I was clear about what I was doing. Now, at that point, those officers should have just went away, because they're at that point, the answer, there was an answer to the initial question. And if I have to be honest, the second officer, who didn't do much talking, you could see that he definitely wanted to go. I think he understood that that questioning went too far after a very short, space of time. He, by the looks of it, was happy to have gone as soon as I answered what I was doing. The other officer, however, obviously wasn't, and I wanted the answer as to why I'd been stopped and all the rest of it. Anyways, as far as I'm concerned, when I went from outside the park before I went in, I think that I got noticed because of the colour of my skin. And I say that, and I'm not trying to be all like, oh, the police are racist and all this stuff. People know that there's institutional racism within the police, and I have been subject to it all of my life. And I expected to be pulled once I got that weird look from that officer. It has happened to me far too many times as I've grown up through life, okay? It's that simple. It's there. It's a real thing. So what happened? When I seen them coming over, in the back of my head, I just thought, yeah, I'm being pulled here because they're just being mildly racist or something. At which point, I know exactly how to deal with these things because I've been subject to it far too many times. And that is, just answer the question immediately, comply, and just answer the questions and let the police just do their little dance and then let them get off. Anyways, as far as I was concerned, that was probably the reason why I was being pulled. So initially I just thought, okay, answer the question, give him what he wants, let him walk off, let him feel like he's done his job, or whatever kick officers get out of doing that stuff, let him get away with it and let him walk off. As soon as he didn't start walking off though, I'm then thinking, hold on a minute, there's another reason why I've been pulled here. In a million years, I could not have guessed where he was going to with that question, and seriously, I actually just thought that they were just exercising their rights to be pricks. Seriously, bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, they were just being a pair of complete and utter pricks, and they know that they can do it, right? That's what I thought was going on, and apparently that wasn't the case. That officer genuinely had an interest in me from the point of view of me filming kids, which I didn't even do. That officer, well, both of those officers never see me do it, and they know that didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? So that was all fabricated. Listen, I'm going to get dead annoyed now. I've got to be dead honest. It's really pissing me off again. Anyway, I think I've made my point very clear here. And the other thing as well, I gave Merseyside Police every chance to resolve this properly. And the worst of it is, right, and don't get me wrong, maybe there's a lot of other people out there who are going to agree with Merseyside Police that there was nothing wrong at all with that questioning, okay? Well, even if there was nothing wrong with the questioning, how on earth can Merseyside Police say that they didn't have a problem with that officer not wearing a face mask during full lockdown, and the fact that these police are meant to be patrolling to enforce those laws, yet they're breaking them themselves, and Merseyside Police didn't have a problem with that. And also, the last thing I'd like to say here as well, and this goes out, and I'm not being sexist when I say this, but this goes out to men, and I do understand women could be questioned in a very similar way, but it's highly unlikely that a woman will get questioned the same way as a man would do in regards to anything weird to do with filming kids and stuff like that. So to the men out there, and especially any males out there around my age, I'm like 54. So anyone who's around my age, right, and you do the kind of stuff that I do, and you're professionally involved with, say, media, film, audio, and stuff like that, and you do vlogging, you're out and about. And let's just pretend that wasn't a police officer doing that stuff that went on in that video. If that was a regular guy had come over and spoke to you like that, how would that have ended? Because I'm telling you right now, those officers crossed far too many lines, and they went beyond common decency. And I have to admit right now, if that had been a regular person, not a police officer, that thing there would have escalated into something really nasty. But it couldn't have done, because they were two police officers and the law is on their side. Oh, and on the point of the law being on their side as well, very last thing here. When I made that complaint to the police and I said, well, look, those two officers lied, the guy that I spoke to from Merseyside Police, here was his response. Well, it's your word against two officers. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean that as soon as two officers corroborate the same story, nobody else can say anything against it? Oh, do you know what? Anyway, I'm getting off because I'm getting really angry now. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. And my name's David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.